Our project goal was to manufacture a business card holder using the methods of 3D printing and sand molded casting. Let's meet the team. To begin our project, we used AutoCAD to design and draw a computer model of the business card holder. We then took this model to a 3D printer to create a physical copy of the card holder. Here you see a time lapse of the first few hours of printing. The 3D print came out perfect. We will use this model for sand molding, where we will pack foundry metal casting sand around the model. We will remove the 3D printed model from the sand, leaving a negative in its place. This is where the molten metal will be poured to fill the model's shape. We built our foundry with a metal bucket and cement. It has a lid to retain more heat and a blowing pipe to feed the flames. We used charcoal for the source of energy for the heat and placed a crucible over the charcoal to hold the aluminum.
You brought charcoal into our house.
I didn't know what it was. Luann asked me to hold it for her. I thought it was drugs.
There's soot under my boy's nails. You don't get that from a clean-burning fuel.
You don't get the rich, smoky flavor either.
Shut your mouth.
The hypothesis of a smoky flavor was tested and confirmed. A hair dryer was used to continuously feed air into the foundry, allowing for more heat to be produced. The melting point of aluminum is 1,221 degrees Fahrenheit or 660 degrees Celsius. As you'll see here, the scrap aluminum melted into our crucible. Once we had enough molten aluminum in our crucible, it was time to pour. Prioritizing safety, our team steadily pours aluminum into the negative of the sand mold, gently to prevent splashing, and at appropriate speed to prevent cold running. We then waited for the aluminum to cool and harden. Once the aluminum was solidified, we dipped it into water to accelerate the cooling process. The aluminum took the shape of our mold. We have a glob on the base of the card holder due to excess amounts of aluminum being used. You can see the metal has a grain texture to it because of the sand that it was cast in. There are a few small blemishes which come from the holes in the negative of the sand mold. All the edges and corners are defined and that match that of our 3D printed model. To correct the blemishes in our casted card holder, we use a belt grinder to reduce the excess aluminum on the card holder's base. Next, Matthew the machine uses a Dremel to smoothen out the front edge of the card holder. The remaining sharp edges and minor blemishes were cured by sanding by hand, with love. The card holder works perfectly, and this extraordinary throne is sat upon by a worthy king.
Look at that subtle off-white coloring. The tasteful thickness of it. Oh my God. It even has a watermark.
Something wrong? Patrick? You're sweating.